Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 23, 2023. Jamaica recorded consistent economic growth across all quarters in the 2022 calendar year. The latest report from the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, shows that the October to December quarter grew by 3.4%. The figure was released on Tuesday.
Increased external demand, supported by growth in the economies of Jamaica's main trading partners. 3. Increased capacity utilization, as a major alumina producer ramped up production following their reopening in the previous quarter. And 4. Increased business and consumer confidence, associated with the prospects for strengthened economic outturn in the short to medium term.
Both the goods producing and services industries recorded growth for the quarter. Meanwhile, the country's economic prospects for the short term remain positive. The PIOJ is projecting economic growth within the range of 3 to 5% for the January to March 2023 quarter. The Planning Institute says this should contribute to overall projected growth of 4 to 6% for the 2022-2023 financial year, which ends March 31st. Similarly, the Bank of Jamaica is projecting growth in the range of 4 to 5.5% for the same period.
Growth will be led by the strong performances for hotels and restaurants and the mining and quarrying industries. For January 2023, preliminary airport arrivals grew by 63.8% and alumina production increased by 125.7%.
The bank expects that GDP growth will continue to be driven by tourism, agriculture, and a resumption of production at the Jamaica alumina plant.
Among factors contributing to the positive outlook, both institutions point to relative stability in the macroeconomy, improved optimism about the future, strengthened demand from increased activities, and continued recovery among Jamaica's main trading partners. For the 2023-24 fiscal year, the PIOJ is expecting the economy to grow by 1 to 3%. In other news, government has delivered on a commitment to table legislation imposing stricter penalties for murder. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck tabled the Offences Against the Person Amendment Act 2023 and the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act 2023 in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The two bills will now be placed before a joint select committee of Parliament to ensure wide consultation. Minister Chuck says members of the committee will be named at the earliest sitting of the House of Representatives. He explained that the increased mandatory minimums would provide greater alignment between the sentencing regimes governing serious crimes and the public's expectations of the justice system.
The possibility of the imposition of a more punitive sentence will go a long way in preserving the credibility of Jamaica's justice system in the eyes of individuals traumatized by the untimely death of their loved ones. These legislative amendments, Madam Speaker, will aid in the fight against the country's soaring crime rate by ensuring that the applicable penalty matches the severity of the crime.
Proposed amendments to the Offences Against the Person Amendment Act include increasing the mandatory minimum sentence of imprisonment for murder from 15 to 45 years. If approved, the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole will also increase to 50 years for capital murder, to 45 years where the sentence is imprisonment for life, and to 35 years where the sentence is a term of years. Meanwhile, the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Bill proposes to amend Section 42F of the Criminal Justice Administration Act. This amendment will increase the term of years to be deemed as life imprisonment for murder from 30 years to 50 years. The Justice Minister says a proposed amendment to the Child Care and Protection Act that is generally in line with the objective of these two bills will follow in short order. Local government elections have been postponed for a further 12 months and are to be held no later than February 28, 2024. This follows approval of the Representation of the People Postponement of Elections to Municipal Corporations and City Municipalities Act 2023 in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The bill was passed without amendment. 29 members of Parliament voted for the postponement, while 8 voted against it. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie, who piloted the bill, explained that the postponement would allow the country to continue its post-COVID-19 economic recovery.
The government is sharply focused on two main things. One, building national resilience against any further economic shock, whether caused by man-made or natural disaster. 2, the expansion and the maintenance of strong economic growth that all our citizens can feel and see at a personal level. It is, Madam Speaker, carefully considered the position of the government that the holding of the municipal elections at this time will carry a significant risk, diverting the country from these two vital tasks. That is fully accepted.
Minister McKenzie says government is also seeking more time to ensure that the significant expenditure that the elections require will be effectively managed, alongside other priorities in the economy. He adds that the postponement will provide additional time to conclude consultations regarding Portmore becoming Jamaica's 15th parish.
It is the commitment of the government that Portmore becomes the 15th parish, Madam Speaker. And such postponement, Madam Speaker, will help us to conclude the consultations that are presently taking place.
Local government elections were last held in 2016. And finally, organizers of the World Travel Awards will launch a new series of awards in support of tourism resilience later this year. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett welcomed the announcement, which came during the 3-day Global Tourism Resilience Conference held in Kingston last week.
This is, for me, perhaps the greatest statement of support that the resilience movement could have. For the World Travel Awards has an outstanding history of performance and global notoriety in every important center of the world where tourism is practiced.
The announcement coincided with activities for the inaugural celebration of Global Tourism Resilience Day, February 17, which was proposed by Jamaica and adopted by the United Nations General Assembly.
To have resilience included in the list of awards that will be provided for destinations and countries across the world is really a very humbling but satisfying development.
The World Travel Awards recognizes excellence in all key sectors of the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.